everybody, Owl2 here, 316RC, again back on the YouTube network with a special video today. My Primal MT monster truck. We're going to fire that engine up for the first time. Now that's the Taylor 71 Supreme Big Bore, so super exciting. I'm sure it's going to be super loud. Hope we can get it started. First thing we got to do is get some fuel mixed up for it. So I'm going to go over what I'm doing there with the fuel. You can see down here below. We'll take a look at that. But yeah, excited to try to get this thing started. It's very humid today, so that's going to affect it a little bit. So let me bring you down here closer, show you what I'm doing for fuel, and then we'll get some fuel in it and get her primed up and see if we can get it started.
Alrighty, let's just go over what we're going to be doing for fuel and mixture today. So this is not a debate about ratios. You guys, there's a lot of talk about fuel ratios. You do whatever you feel you got to do. I'm going to do what Mike recommends for the big bore, and he recommends a 25-to-1. I think he recommends a minimum of 94 octane fuel. Today we'll be going with the VP Racing C12, which Mike does recommend this. Might be overkill, but we're going to be running the C12 today. You can see it here. I got it in the infamous VP 5-gallon pail. For our oil, we're going to be going with AMSOIL Dominator. And like I said, we're going to be doing a 25-to-1. So hope you can see this. I got my, if you don't have one of these, you got to get one of these ratio right cups. It has markings. I don't know if we can pick them up here, but for 2.5 gallons of fuel, 1.5, all my containers are 1 gallon I mix. So I have a mark set on mine for the 1 gallon, and if you come down here, it has marks on it for the ratios. So I have a 24-to-1. Where's it at? 24-to-1. I don't know if you can see it, and right underneath that I have a mark for the 28-to-1. So we'll be going like in between those two slightly. So we'll fill this up with the oil. We'll dump it in our can, and then we'll dump our fuel in, take it up to 1 gallon. We'll give it a good shake up, and then we'll have our fuel ready to go. Alrighty, let's get, first thing we're going to do is get our Dominator into our container. So we're going to get our ratio cup, and we're going to fill it to that mark in between 2 black marks. Pour some in here. Almost. There's 24-to-1 right there. A little bit more. There's like, it's pretty close right there, about 25 to run. 25-to-1. Now you can see there's quite a bit of residue left in there. So what I like to do is I like to put a little bit of fuel in here and mix it and then pour the fuel in. Poured a little bit in my cup here of fuel. Get that oil out of the cup. We're going to pour that back in. All good. Put our cap on. All right, we're just going to shake this up really good, back and forth, get a good mix on this. That's it. Fuel is ready. Let's go over to the Raminator, get some in the tank, see if we can get the carb primed up, and
See if she starts.
Alrighty. Let's see if we can get some fuel in this baby. Got my bad Taylor cap right there on the top. Pull that off. Hopefully I can get this in here. Yes, I can. I'm just going to get this. Love these no spill containers. We've got fuel going in. What we got there? That's about 3/4 of a tank right there. Okay, all good. Okay guys, before we go ahead and get this primed up, this is a special carburetor. I just noticed that this is out of the slot right there. See that? That's popped out. We got a couple checks to make. That should be up in here, up in there. We got our high. Got our high need. I don't know if you can see it on the right and the low on the left. This is a WJ 146 carb, so there's only one fuel line. There's no return line like we see on like a 990 or something, smaller carb. So, but anyway, I think since somewhere late in 2025, I think Mike changed the reads in here and changed the carb settings, but this is before, so I have the original read in my engine. So we're just going to check these, and Mike recommends 1 1/2 turns on the low for starting and 1 3/8 turns out on the high for initial starting. So I'm going to go ahead and check those right now. And we're going to go ahead and close the high. And just when it stops. Don't like, you're not like tightening anything. So when it stops, it stops. So right there is completely off. So we want to go 1 3/8 turns. So that's my Klein Tools logo is right at the top. So this will be Klein's logo. So that's 1 3/8. That's almost a half. So 4/8 would be a half. So we're going to go almost, and we're going to come back just an 1/8 right there. That looks to me about 1 3/8. So the other one is 1 1/2. So we're going to go ahead and close the low. Let me see where that is. I like to start with my logo on my screwdriver so I know where I'm at. I'm like pretty much 90-degree perpendicular, so we're going to go 1 1/2. So there's 1 and 1/2. So there we go. 1 1/2 on the low and 1 3/8 on the high speed. Okay, carburetor set. Let's go ahead and get our electronics checked. So the switch here will tell me, I know it's hard to see, I don't know if you guys can see that, but we got 8.62 volts on the battery. So if we go ahead and we can turn that off, that's just the battery voltage display. I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. And inside, I don't know if you can see it in there. Flashing red light, that's my kill switch. That is now telling me that the engine is killed, which would be correct because I don't even have the transmitter on. So we're going to go ahead and turn that back off. Let's get our transmitter turned on here. I got my Primal MT loaded. I am using Futaba electronics on this. So let's go ahead and turn this on now. We got our flashing light, but we should have steering. And we do have steering. the kill switch keeps activating, and my battery voltage is dropping way down, so I'm not sure what's going on. Alright guys, it appears from sitting all winter, I don't know, I turned on the voltage meter and showed 8 volts on that battery, but obviously it's low, and powering up the truck it drains the voltage, so unless the battery's bad. So we're charging it now. Got the charger on here. We're charging it up. It's a nickel metal battery, Primal battery, 3200 milliampere hour, 8.4 volt. So she's charging, and when she's done, we'll put it back together and see if we can get our electronics to work. If not, we're going to have to go and replace the battery. So, all right, be back in a short.